Welcome to session 3 of European Entrepreneurship and Innovation at Stanford School of Engineering. My name is Burton Lee. Today is January 25. I'm the course instructor. And today we're very pleased to focus on Romania and Turkey with two speakers who've flown in all the way from Istanbul and Bucharest to tell us about what's happening in their respective startup scenes. These are two very exciting startups that are, I think, one has shown a major exit in the past year, I think the largest exit in Turkey's history, and a very interesting example of early stage engineering and product design and development out of Romania. So our first speaker will be Radu Georgescu, who is member of the board of Vector Watch, based in Bucharest and London and also around the world. Very, very cool new watch concept based around original hardware and software OS engineering in Bucharest. And our second speaker, Mele Ödemiş.
Yes.
Is that about correct? CEO and co-founder of Yemek Sepeti out of Istanbul, a very interesting, very active food delivery startup, which is doing extremely well and was acquired last year out of Berlin. So now we're going to move to one of our two main speakers, Radu Georgescu, who is board member of Vector Watch. This is a very interesting company with technology developed, again, hardware and software out of Romania, out of Bucharest specifically. Radu and I have spent a lot of time together over the last couple of days. Also, Radu has a daughter here who's a junior in mathematics, studying here at Stanford University. So you're actually a Stanford father. Okay. You have your mic? Yes. Thank you for coming all the way from Bucharest. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's a great honor to be here and presenting at Stanford. I mean, look, I've been looking up to Stanford all my life, and there are so many things that I want to share. And it's been a great ride, and I'm really excited to be here and share things with you. So bear with me for a few minutes, and then let's get into discussing and questions, and let's discuss things. So a couple of words about me. Radu Georgescu. I'm a mechanical engineer by training. Started my first startup in university, sold it to the Autodesk distributor in Romania, then started another startup, sold it to Microsoft in 2003. And this is actually what is the core security in Microsoft even today. Then other companies, so I realized that I'm a serial entrepreneur. One company sold to Naspers, the big South African e-commerce company. One other sold a couple of years ago to Francisco Partners here, the PE fund in San Francisco. So serial entrepreneur, a little bit of VC investments. So, but the thing that is getting me exciting, like really exciting, that's the real thing. The next unicorn, as you're saying, is Vector. And we're here to speak about Vector. And Vector is here to disrupt the wearables and IoT technology. So we are going to disrupt this technology like never else has, industry like never else has done, by creating the best smartwatch ever, as well as industry-changing technology. So let's speak a little bit about the watch itself. It's a beautiful piece of jewelry. So we realize that, all these guys, Apple and Google and whoever else is doing gadgets. So they're doing beautiful piece of smartphone that they are trying to put it on the wrist. And it doesn't really work. You don't really want to have a phone on the wrist. And then the watchmakers are creating great jewelries, but they're still watches, like old-time watches. So you need a piece of jewelry that does all the smart things. That's what it is. And it's a complete collection. I mean, it's not one watch. There's actually 16 SKUs. They're round, they are square, they're gold, I mean yellow. Yeah, we're not getting into the $2,000 watch. So it's a complete fashionable collection. And it has been launched 2 months ago. Like November is the first time when it hit the market. 0 marketing budget, and we sold in the first 2 months more than 10,000 watches. How? I have no clue. Just people love this thing. We got a lot of press. We got press out of nowhere. So CNN spoke about us. Forbes talked about us. TechCrunch spoke about us. Like a lot of really international global things. And we are targeting a huge market. It's $1.3 trillion by 2020. So that's supposed to be a huge market, and we're poised for success into this market. What the hell is this watch doing? So it does everything that you would expect it to do, like all the smart things. I just want to kind of point out, the App Store for developers. So it has apps. There is an SDK. Developers can do this. We're open for beta developers, and developers started to do apps. We're going to launch them. And there is an App Store, and developers are going to be able to earn money like in a normal app store. There is a multi-OS compatibility, so it works with iOS and Android as you would expect, but also with Microsoft. And actually, this is the only real smartwatch that I know of that works with Microsoft phones, whoever has Microsoft phones. But the kick-ass feature that this watch has is a 30-day battery life. So 30 days with all these features, for 30 days, you do not need to actually charge this watch. And that is great. That makes the difference. You don't need to carry one more charger with you, and all this trouble that you would have. Now we put together a great team. So look at the CEO of this company, Mr. Joe Santana. He used to be for 7 years the CEO of Timex. The real CEO of Timex is now leading this company, to its success. Andrei Pitich, the founder, he used to be the VP engineering in IKEA. And, Ron Spencer was having different COO, very senior roles in Budova or Fossil and so on. So really, really great team. And this is how it looks. Like the watch itself is really beautifully crafted, but not only. The apps look great, like you would expect, from a real high quality company. Now, where is this all started? So this is Bucharest. This is actually how it looks now, today in Bucharest. It's winter. It's actually 0 degrees Fahrenheit as we speak in Bucharest. It's really, really winter. And that's how it looks. So 1.5 years ago, this gentleman, Andrei Pitich, the founder of the company, came to me. And let me tell you a couple of words about him. He's a serial entrepreneur himself, very trustworthy and, a real guy. And he sold one of his companies to auctionwatch.com a long time ago. Another company, he sold it to IKEA, and then he became, the VP engineering of IKEA. And he came to me saying, look, Radu, I have a vision. I said, wow. All these watches I need to charge. He's a watch fan, a smartwatch fan. So all these watches I need to charge every day. I want to create a watch that needs to be charged only once a month. And I said, okay, you want, and I want a lot of things in the world, but, can you do it? And I got to tell you this, his specialty, he's one of the top embedded operating systems architects. So, he kind of could do this. But I told him, look, I'm seeing 200 PowerPoints a month. You got to come with a little bit better than a PowerPoint to me. So he said, okay, fair enough, I'm going to come back in a month. So 1 month later, he came with a little bit of something that was a little bit, it looks a little bit, it was like this. And he said, here's your smartwatch. I said, okay, here's my smart clock, actually. So, the guy came with this and this, okay, this is what it is. And I said, okay, fair enough. I trust you enough, your engineering skills. And I chipped in a little bit of money and then started creating the company and going forward. Now, the biggest question, that's where I want to spend a little bit of time. The biggest question of this company was, what do we want to do? Do we want to be a fashion watches company, or do we want to be a technology company and create a platform, for others to use? Now, do we want to be a consumer electronics? And that's great. There are a lot of apps for a consumer electronic company. There is ego, there's visibility, but then there's sort of downs because you are fighting the big boys with deep pockets. Now, a technology thing, it's great because we do actually have the technology advantage. So we try to figure out what of this to do, and we try to figure out what is the industry's problem, actually. So we figure out that there are two problems. One is the one that we already spoke. So, there is a missing link between the watches and the gadgets. And we could do this. So actually managing Joe Santana, a watch guy, and Andrei Pitish, a technology guy, is a damn huge of a challenge. They do not speak the same language. But that's actually the power of the company, because putting these two guys together, it gets this beautiful piece of art. So, but at the end of the day, the Apples and the Samsungs are going to find out a way to put this together. But the bigger problem is that the OSs available are not there. So let me give you this story. So the concept is that 45 years ago, when computers came, the big mainframes, there were big, heavy operating systems. Unix were operating systems. You know, remember these days, you are too young. So then desktops came, and they wanted to squeeze this operating system into desktops and laptops, and it didn't work. Microsoft needed to come with MS-DOS that could actually work this out. And then smartphones came, and they wanted to put Windows on the smartphones. Remember whoa, it didn't work at all. And iOS and Android came with new operating systems for this. Now, less resources on the new wearables thing, and you know, the guys want to squeeze iOS and Android into this. It's not going to work. Somebody is going to need to come with a new platform, a new operating system that solves this problem. And this is who we are. This is what we want to be. So the answer to that question, you know, who comes with the next operating system, is look at this. This is, I mean, you know, all these guys are having a 1 day. We do not have a 2 times this. We do not have a 3 times. We do not have a 10 times better battery life. We have a 30 days battery life, and this is not up to 30 days. This is at least 30 days. I'm charging mine actually 65 days in between 2 charges. So we realized that this is our core power, and we got to this vision to become the global platform of choice for wearables and IoT devices. You are going to see the next few years Vector OS on all the wearable devices in the world. Okay, maybe a couple of them are not going to be ours, but all the rest of them. And that is the vision that we all got together. Now, the strategy to get to this vision is actually to first create a beautiful watch that demonstrates this technology. And this is exactly like Tesla somehow. You know, Tesla is not a car company. Tesla is an energy company. So basically, in order to actually demonstrate, I mean, you cannot go there and say, look, we are an energy company, or look, we have a great wearables technology. You need to have a product that demonstrates it, that uses the technology, but it's also, you know, beautiful, and people would love it and have a lot of feature. So Tesla created the car that eventually became a great business for them in any case, and we decided to create this watch to demonstrate the technology. Now, of course, we therefore have 2 business models. One is the enabler for the other one. The consumer electronics, the watch itself, is the enabler, but then the core business in licensing the full stack platform, like everything. Anybody that want to create a mobile IoT that is that needs power management, that would be us with a full stack. Just a few pictures, you know, from the beginning. So these are, you know, the first screens that came from Sharp to us, were designed specially by Sharp for us. This is the first actual product in a case that was 3D printed in plastic. Very, very, very fun, you know. So there has been so much fun. The first logo of the company, you can see, you know, how it all started. So where are we now? In only 18 months. So this company is 18 months. 18 months. So 2014, mid-2014. The company created and developed so many things. It did a lot of things for the core product. And it did, you know, it put together an excellent, phenomenal team. It did the hardware design. It did the Vector OS, a brand new operating system from scratch. I mean, it's not Linux, it's not RTOS, it's from scratch. It's Vector OS designed by the company. All the connectivity apps with all 3 phones, or the cloud, App Store, SDK. I mean, all these things, they were done in 18 months. Moreover, all the investment, I think, you know, better than everybody being here, that the investment, you know, thing is not easy to be done. And we have proper VCs investing in the company and so on. Or the corporate structure, it's a global company. It has the headquarters now in London, and we're preparing to move the headquarters here in Silicon Valley for a technology company. It does have offices in here already, London, Bucharest, Hong Kong, China, and so on. But on the fashion also, we created the jewelry design, which is, as you can see, you have it. It's really beautiful, and a brand which is great. But the production itself. Think about putting together 12 companies in India that produces something, and all together to deliver to build, to QA, to make sure that it works. I mean, it's such a it's a great accomplishment. All the distribution channels. So we got in talks with Amazon, so you can find the product on Amazon, on Best Buy. And Best Buy, they're very picky. They don't allow anybody. They just got us on a short notice, and you can find the product in Best Buy. So many things have been done. So remember, 18 months only. All these things done from ground up, from zero. From a very small company that started in Romania and became already global. What the hell is right with Romania? So Romania, it's a country, you saw where it is, Eastern Europe, great country, great people, very warm-hearted people, very beautiful. I encourage everybody to come and visit. It's a beautiful country with a lot of startups. I mean, there is a startup every other corner. Every block there is a startup. I mean, half of them probably they're going to be dead next year, but twice as many are going to be coming in the year after. So many startups and a lot of big companies. You may have heard about Bitdefender, top security companies, Softpedia, LiveRail got acquired by Facebook just last year or so. So great companies coming from there, even though they don't really get so much credit. But this is because Romania has always been an innovative country. So you may have never heard or never knew that actually the fountain pen was invented by a Romanian. The cybernetics father is a Romanian guy, Dr. Dobreja. The jet engine was created by a Romanian guy. And insulin itself was discovered, I guess, by a Romanian. So, and that's only a few things. There are so many more. There is actually a movie called World Without Romania out on YouTube. So if you just look at it, you would see how many great things have come from there, and we may have never heard about. But it's not only innovation, it's innovation about technology in particular. So you may never heard that, back in '58, the first Romanian mainframe computer was built. Back in '58, I mean, look, that's a long time ago. And, people there were doing this kind of things. Great math skills, great computer science skills. And it's not about numbers. I mean, it's not a big country. There are not so many people there. You would not go to Romania to outsource. You go to actually add value. Romania, it's about product development. It's about early stage engineering. So that is the core. That's what we are doing. Whew. There we go.
Thank you, Radu.
Thank you so much.
Questions? So let me start off.
Yes, sir.
Most of the startups coming out of Romania are ICT. They're software. Is that correct?
Most of the startups are software, yes.
So, and most of them are consumer or enterprise?
Most of them, I'd say, are analytics, ad, and so on.
So embedded software with hardware is very unusual to come out of Romania.
It is kind of unusual, yes.
And I think it's generally unusual to come out of Europe. So an entire new consumer product, embedded software, hardware, entirely developed.
Probably
That's
so.
very exciting. Questions? Yes?
How much do these watches sell for, and is that somehow subsidized to get the OS out there?
The watches are selling in the 400 area, like 450, 400 kind of thing, the round ones, and 250, the square ones. No, they are not subsidized. They are, I'm not going to say more, they are not subsidized. There's actually a good business in the watches itself.
George?
Just I heard that you said, I don't know if it was a mistake or not, you said you put together a line producing this in India.
No, it was a mistake if I said this. I apologize.
Yes, you said
No,
India, and I know it was...
no, it was China. It's China, absolutely.
China,
I apologize.
It would be the first one.
Yeah, no.
Michael.
In your business model, you mentioned that you expect your main revenue from licensing the stack.
Yes.
However, the main strengths of your product you identified as its beauty, its design, and beauty, and battery life. You didn't talk very much about your other stack, could you?
There are two business units, two business directions, two business models. The core thing is about the stack, and the stack is actually the full stack with the hardware design, the operating system, the app store, and the cloud, and the full stack with the developers community. And this is the core thing. And the core feature of this is that it actually uses perfectly the very limited resources that a mobile IoT device would have. And that is what differentiates us. In order to be able to demonstrate this, we created a product. And we created actually a great product. But what can be seen is the product. So we expect people to buy the product, love the product, the watch itself, love it, and then what we expect is companies that want to create wearables come to us and get the technology from us, as opposed to getting it from Android Wear or from anywhere else, where what they get is a one-day battery life or a very limited battery life, and kind of everybody's the same thing. Our stack is way better battery consumption, like 30 to 1, and a lot of flexibility in how one could differentiate it by the other. So there's a full story that's behind the scenes there. That's one answer. The other thing is that this is a really high growth company. This company did so many things in so little time. So are there things that we don't know? Oh, yes. We are making not baby steps, but we're doing things that we don't know. We're gluing things together last moment. We're failing things sometimes. We're going back and taking other decisions. So we're a high-paced company with all the pain that comes with it.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll get to use last question.
IoT protocols are pretty confusing today. So you have a differentiation on power consumption.
Yes.
Right, but there's some really heavy weights in the IoT protocols.
We're prepared to follow them and connect them to, you're referring to the Microsoft initiative with the IoT in the Azure and all these things. We're prepared to support them. Do we support them today? No. But we do have this in the roadmap, and we will have that. This is not going to consume the energy and stuff. It's just a matter of a little bit of time to be able to put things in order. But yes, absolutely.
And our last question, sir, up in the corner.
So I think the presentation was great, and I fundamentally agree with the fact that the approach with the new OS is good, that the new platform, new use case requires some OS. But developing the new OS from scratch, is that correct, what you're doing, without any base of Unix or anything? All right, so I mean, that requires quite a bit of engineering effort and also making like compiler technologies, the whole infrastructure. So my question is, how are you going to attract developers to this new platform, and what developers are you targeting? What's your main programming language? And just to follow up to that, I have some knowledge of the current operating system landscape, and fundamentally, if there is not some revolutionary idea that I'm not aware of, I don't see many ways that you could solve this power management issue and really cut it down 30 to 1. So what I see is that the display tech is really different, and that might be what's helping, but maybe you could give us some insight without revealing like trade secrets.
In 1 minute, if possible.
The answer is easy. That is the only thing I cannot answer. I promise you that the screen is part of it, but it's just a parallel kind of part of it. That's why it's a new operating system, because we needed to create things from scratch. And actually, Andrei Petish is our secret sauce. He's really that kind of a guy. That's one. Second, to answer to your first question with the developers, Actually, we are creating translators that comes from JavaScript into whatever we are using internally, and that's the way we are doing, because that was indeed a very big problem.
Great. Thank you, Radu, very much.
No, thank you very much. Thank you so much.